And the emphasis of that site, let me give you an overview. First we have the Raw-Wisdom site. We have 2 blogs, one of which is started by Melinda, Shining Star Miracles, and one of which is in the works and hasn't launched yet, but we do have the URL, and it's www.healingtalks.com. And we hope to get that activated by the end of the month. Next, we have Shining Star Miracles channel on YouTube, to which we post daily with these wonderful videos. And we have activism on health and environmental issues, networking with others here in the Northeast, and launching an international campaign which I call Turning Around GROs. So now to go back to our website, the emphasis of the website, if you haven't visited it yet, is as follows. The number one mission of our site is to move us from a death to a life-centered vision of nature. So, and that's explained in different articles and videos in detail. It's a life and consciousness-centered worldview, where really consciousness forms the connective relationship to all of nature, and out of that comes all of the manifestations of life that we experience on the surface as being separate, as being material, as being, matter and energy defined mathematically. That's just the surface appearance. On the deeper level, all of nature, all of what we experience is actually an experience of consciousness. And so there's a whole philosophy of reorienting ourselves, because if your larger picture of life is mistaken, then your whole organization of things is going to be befuddled, and that's really what's happening in our culture. Next, we do research. We have a tab on major nutritional studies, and we're going to add animal studies very soon to help people find the information they need to navigate a befuddled world. We have 50 harmful effects of genetically modified foods, and that was a landmark article that I wrote a long time ago, and in that article is a whole host of 50 effects of genetically modified or genetically raped food, as I sometimes refer to them. And this covers the whole gamut of health, environmental issues, farming, the political impacts, the deep ecological impacts, and the actions you can take to turn around our conditions. And on the health side, you'll see, and I have links to back up every statement in most of the article, and those links should be finished by the end of this month. I'm hoping. We're working on it. Such as in the health arena, we have recorded deaths, near deaths, cancer, the impacts on viral and bacterial infections that are a result of being exposed to GROs, allergies, and so on. Sterility is also a big issue. Next, we have a tab which I call the Raw Food World, and there I've got organized all the major sites where you can find more information about raw living foods as an expression of a life-centered worldview. Because we want those living forces in our bodies to maximize what we can accomplish on this planet. We also have many inspirational videos. We have a tab of 88 raw recipe videos. We have for the spirit videos, we have our own YouTubes. We have a juice feasting blog, which we're excited to do every day right now while we're in the midst of feasting on juices. We have a GE food forum, which lists many of the key articles on genetically engineered foods. And we have a monthly newsletter to keep you informed, as the blogs do as well, about the new and exciting things we're doing, what's happening on the planet that we're aware of, and we want to share with you. So Shining Star Miracles is again our channel where we post, currently we post daily. And we are, as I mentioned, starting this environmental interactivist campaign. I believe that interactivism is more powerful than outer activism, that we need to change our vision, and by changing our vision we change our world. And so we need to understand that genetic engineering and genetically modified foods involve a violent process, a violent posture to nature. And this is not evident whenever we use the two terms, genetic engineering and genetically modified foods. Engineering gives the impression that we're doing something positive, like engineering a wonderful Porsche. Modified is a term that gives the impression that we're doing something gentle. We're just slightly modifying and altering something in a gentle way. The word modified has the sound in the reverse, the om sound, like in mom, or in oma, which means grandmother, or in comforting, or in shalom. You know, these are all soothing words, and the industry loves that. We need to change that. This is why I refer to them as GROs, or genetically raped organisms or violated, because it's such a gunshot violent process where we're, much like we invade the borders of a country that's sovereign, here we're invading the nuclear borders of an organism that may have evolved over millions of years, as if we have the right to do that. Excuse me a second. So, on the positive side, excuse me, on the positive side, GRO can also represent what we really want to envision happening on our planet, which is that we have a posture to gently raise, rear, raise up high, reap, restore, recognize, wrap with, run with, rapture with the organisms that fill our planet. Whether there are nanobacteria, the tiniest of organisms, or elephants and dinosaurs. We are part of a family of life that is part of a web of life, and the web the threads of that web are made out of consciousness, where consciousness itself is the relationship of connection in all of nature, not only here on our planet, but throughout the universe. We want to make a paradigm shift to a new worldview, a worldview not based on the Newtonian, Galilean, Platonian, Aristotelian, the whole foundation of Western civilization, which is really, really left-brain dominant. It's separative consciousness. We want to move to a connective, healing consciousness, and to dedicate as I have dedicated my life to living in a healing way. We'd like to present the vision and the image to the rest of the planet that all of our society can really be primarily and dominantly dedicated to healing and not to economic development. That is secondary, that can be a tool, but it's subordinate is really the appropriate word to what ultimately is a dedication to healing and wholeness and connection within. So that's what we're all about. It's really very simple, and it's very profound. And until we have this gentle, loving, compassionate, respectful posture to all living organisms on our planet, we ourselves cannot thrive, because there is kind of a rebounding, there is a kind of a karma back to us. And I want to especially appeal to genetic engineering scientists and to students of genetic engineering to really understand that what genetic engineering is a violent process, and do you want to dedicate your life to that under the promises that would bring benefits or good to the world, when really all forms of violence violate the connective essence of nature in this world that we live in. So we need to change for our own well-being, for the well-being of our planet, for the well-being of each other, and for all the generations of living organisms, living conscious beings to come. So that's my message. I hope we all take this to heart. I'm excited about doing this campaign, and we look forward to having you a part of it. Sign up on our website for our newsletter, for our YouTube channel, Shining Star Miracle.